At the end of last year, environmental vandals tried to destroy century-old trees in Bardwell Park's Lambert Reserve. But instead of watching the greenery die, this community fought back, and today, for every tree targeted, more trees have been planted. Now, joining us today is musician, local legend, and the 25-year guardian of the reserve, Cameron Hons. Now, the Community Planning Day was a major success and turning anger into action. Cameron Hons, thanks for joining us.
Hello, thanks for letting me be here
Great to
once
have you.
again.
Nice to see you again. Now,
Yes,
take us back to the moment the first shovel hit the dirt on planting day on Saturday, August 1, after everything that Lambert Reserve had been through over the past few months. How did that moment make you feel?
it felt like a kind of a upcoming resolution to all the problems that we were having previously about all the losing the trees that were poisoned and well, not really losing them all, but like with the leaves falling off the poisoned trees, and we had to retain them back, and the council pruned them back to make them more of like habitat homes for animals, and we need some more trees for like shade and animals' homes and stuff like that. So when we started digging the new trees in, it was just a good feeling and an exciting feeling as well. And it's like kind of on the road to recovery once again.
Yeah, and I guess when we spoke to you back in March, we spoke about the council policy where every poison tree is replaced
Mm.
with two new ones. Now, standing there, seeing those six new saplings go into the ground,
Yes.
how satisfying was it for you knowing that the vandalism had actually backfired and doubled the canopy
Mm.
type of thing?
Yes, it's a very, very good feeling that the community awareness has brought this tree poisoning event. I think the vandals have been very quiet over the last couple of months, and it was an interesting planting day because this time I actually provided the trees first, and we were very selective of what type of trees we wanted to put in because they wanted to be native to the area. So we got a bunch of different kinds of bottle brush trees that will grow really big, about 5 and 10 meters high. And then after that, we're going to have another planting day in September where the council's going to come in. We're going to get more trees from them. They're going to provide more. And then we're going to keep on planting in the next couple of months. So that's going to be very fun and exciting to see all the new trees coming in.
And
And
and when
we're trying very hard to replace the trees with a lot of the very similar trees that were affected by the poisoning as well, like more eucalyptus trees. We're going to add in a few more natives as well here and there.
It's very exciting to hear these great stories that have happened over the last 6 months, and I have to ask you about the famous miracle seedling that you rescued from the poison site. How's it going, and how did the front row seat of getting special treatment? How did it feel knowing that you could see that that was coming to fruition?
It didn't, I noticed when I replanted it, and it didn't like being replanted, so it didn't like where it currently was. So
Okay.
I took it out and put it in another spot, so it's still there. But then just the other day, I think it was on Sunday, when I had Mum and I looking at the new trees in the reserve that we put in and showing people what we were doing. And then we walked up the walkway again, and there was another new sapling in there coming out, one that we didn't see before of a new eucalyptus tree coming up. So that maybe it was from one of the ones that was affected by the poison growing up. I've seen that happening a few times when one dies off and another one comes back from the seed in the area. That there was another new one coming out. So that's exciting.
It is very exciting. And when I hear you talking about these stories, it's one of those inspirational things that you do in the community. I'm sure there's lots of people who are helping you out.
Yeah,
And
yes.
when we're speaking about inspiration, I have to have a chat to you about the beautiful tribute that you made about Bill Oddie recently. Now, Bill Oddie from the Goodies from the 70s
Hmm.
and 80s, he sadly passed away on July 25. And in your social media post, you recalled that's an amazing photo that we've got on the screen there, just a signed photograph of the famous Bill Oddie from the Goodies. And that
I
actually
didn't
goes
even
back to
see.
the 2013 tour. and you had a 20-minute chat with Bill Oddie. Is that right?
That's correct. That's correct.
And
Because
and
he was so generous with his time with all of us, to be honest. But we just seemed to hit it off real well because of all of our similar interests. And I was a I'm still quite a young fella, but I was a
of
young fella
course,
back then. So
of course.
he really admired my passion for birds and the wildlife and like the goodies and the music that he likes and all that and stuff like that. So we just hit it off. We're talking about all that stuff and. We didn't realize at the time, but it was like 20 minutes later, we're still talking, and this is supposed to be like a fan meet and greet where he's supposed to talk to people for only 5 minutes, but he didn't
Yeah.
mind. It
Wow.
was
No, that it was
it was a
amazing.
nice it was a nice event, and I'm really glad that I went to that show and I went
Yeah.
and got to meet him afterwards, and he was just so generous with his time.
Yeah, and it's great that you speak about how generous he was with his time, but you also mentioned that you both shared that passion for birds. So
Yes.
as you stand in Lambert Reserve, where the dead trees have actually, I guess, resurfaced, how much of Bill Oddie's infectious love for bird life have you taken into that reserve?
Yes, I think he's been a very big influence, and people like Bill Oddie and David Attenborough and Brian May, Queen guitarist, and all that, have Professor Brian Cox, for example. That's another one. We need more people like them to promote how to look after the wildlife and to care about wildlife and nature. And it's so important that we've learned about these things from school and when we were young. And it's just a terrible shame for some kids and generations to grow up not have any wildlife interest or caring for animals or whatever, just if people's parents don't want them to. It's really important to have people like Bill Oddie and Sir David Attenborough and all these nature fanatics who love taking care of the planet and the environment and showing people how they can do it too and enjoy bird life and looking after the animals
Sounds
because it's an
fantastic.
important thing too.
It's an important thing to keep that learning
Yes,
going, whether they're
that's
adults or
right.
children.
That's right.
And Bill Oddie was famous for using comedy, music, and entertainment as a force for nature. And
Yeah,
you wrote a great song, "Why Did You Poison Those Trees Today?" to process
yes.
your anger and get your message out. How do you feel that parallels with your fight for that movement to keep that quest for nature going?
I think that we do similar kinds of comedy music and I just take influence from what my favorite musicians do, and if I get an idea of a song like "Why did you poison those trees today?" It passes the message across. So if any intentional tree poisoners one day would hear it, then we'll just say, "Well, why did you do that?" Or "Why do you think you're going to do that?" And think twice before you do silly things like that. Some people don't just go ahead, and it's just such a strange thing. But the similar interests and the similar ways we write songs and music is um, considered to be very interesting to me, I think.
One of
Yeah,
the things, and one of the
the way that we come up with ideas and all that. Yeah.
Well, one of the things that I've noticed with your songs is that sometimes it relays back through stories that you've experienced. And one of my favorite stories that you have told me, that you have shared with me, is when
Yes.
during the peak of the summer heat, locals were running left, right, and center with hoses and
Yeah.
backyards to flush out the chemicals. So
Yeah.
between the hands-on rescue effort and the huge turnout on planting day, what did
Mm.
that tell you about the spirit in Bardwell Park?
I think that one person's silly actions of wanting to get trees poisoned in a public space, in a park, where lots of families and kids enjoy, and people from all generations enjoy coming through and, looking at the work that we're doing or just relaxing. The entire community has come together in support of our local bush care group and we get offered trees from neighbors. They come by and see us or see me, and they say, "I've got this tree for you because I've been affected by this tree poisoning." And it's one of the natives that you see around in the reserve or whatever, and we'd like you to have it. And they go out of their way to get trees for us, or they come by, as you said, and they've helped us do the watering when we were watering out some of the chemicals from the trees, and one of the melaleucas was saved as a result of that help from the community and us, and so that all wasn't a total loss. And everyone comes up to me and talks to me about how angry they are about the tree poisoning, but very happy to have us working in the reserve as a result of spreading the community awareness and keeping a further eye. We're a lot more vigilant now about tree poisonings than we were before, and I think we've kind of put them on notice. And it's great to see that a lot of the people have not tolerated this tree poisoning as well, and are also very supportive about a lot of the things that we do. And I think it's made us look a lot better as a result.
Yeah, and I
So
think
that's kind of backfired on them tree
yeah.
poisoners as well.
It's interesting how people have come to you to talk about the great things that you've done in the Lambert Reserve, and
Yep.
you've been a guardian of that reserve for 25 years or more. So I can
More, yeah.
understand, yeah, I can understand why people are coming to you because you've got the history and all the
Yes.
things that you remember as well. So I guess in reflecting on one of the things that you said back about Bill Oddie on social media, you said that Bill Oddie has no limits when giving time to people.
No.
Did that turnout on planting day make you feel like your whole army was sharing that load now that as a community you were sharing that spirit?
Yes, and I feel like that it shows that it shows that the people, when they unite together to do something good, like a planting day to fix up the poison trees in the reserve, shows that there are more people out there who are willing to stand up against this kind of nonsense and to show other people that they really mean that they really mean business about putting people straight when it comes to these things,
It's
and sending a clear message to everyone to say that we're supposed to be looking after the environment, not trying to get rid of it.
I love how you describe it as nonsense and how
Yeah,
people are coming together. It's
yeah,
interesting that you noted that the idea of installing CCTV and wildlife
mm,
cameras was a way of getting that message out there to the people who are doing these things to the
yeah,
environment to I guess back away and maybe think twice before they do things.
mm.
If you could give the people a message watching and listening today who are constantly doing these things across Sydney, what message would you say to them?
I would say that you might think that you can get away with it, but there's so much community resilience out there that we're always waiting and watching if it happens again one day. As you said, we're planning to get CCTV installed in our area, and most everybody who I speak to about it, all the neighbors who I've been speaking to about it, are supportive of it. So I've actually got some neighbors actually want to install CCTV themselves and back onto the reserve to look out for the tree poisoners so they don't come back and try it again. If they do, we'll catch them on CCTV. Even if it's someone walking around with a hoodie or a mask or whatever to protect their face, we'll catch something. But I think we need to keep lobbying the government to make sure the tree poisoning laws are fines are increased and jail time is needed because it's an environmental crime and it should be punished with very severe actions rather than the slap on the wrist fines that they currently have right now.
And
Yes.
and we've heard about just after we spoke in March about the incident that your local area went through in January. There were
Mm.
other incidents of things that were
Yeah.
taking place across Sydney, and we saw some reports in the Sydney Morning Herald, and there are some
Yes.
people before the courts at the moment.
Yes. Someone was caught in Ashfield.
That's right. Just
You're poisoning trees, drilling into them too, just like what we had here was.
That's right. It's just
Mm,
it's terrible that these things keep happening. And I guess
mm.
what people who go through these types of situations is they look to others to see what did they do to try and solve the problem. So for
Yes.
any communities watching this and listening to this at the moment, trying to work out, well, what's the next best step, what advice would you have to them who might be going through a similar tragedy?
Best thing about it is to not be silent about it. A lot of people would think that there's no evidence, therefore we can't do anything. The best solution is to raise community awareness about it. If it's happened to you on your parkland or front verge or in your property, just talk to everybody you know about it, because these people don't want you to know that these trees have been poisoned and targeted. And it happens anywhere. It can happen in any suburb. And keep communicating with your local council about it and report it straight away if you notice anything suspicious. Suspicious tree die off, leaves turning brown and falling on the ground when they're not supposed to, and they'll come over and investigate. And if you keep the community informed with what you're doing to help, you can replant the trees in the next couple of months when they happen, and keep an eye out. Maybe join community groups or maybe form your own community groups and lobby for CCTV being installed in certain areas where tree poisonings are common. And hopefully that can at least deter people from trying to come back and doing it again.
It's an amazing story with the community coming together, and it just shows that this is an amazing story of resilience that shows that people might try and change history, but an experience where the community just comes together
Yes.
to solve the issue and replant that growth. So it's just an amazing thing that you've done there. A big
Mm.
thank you to you, Cameron Hons, for joining us,
Yes.
and please continue doing the great work that you do in Lambert Reserve.
Thank you. Yes.
Uh, and also a big thank you to you for sharing your wonderful experience that you had with Bill Oddie and keeping
Yes.
his memory alive as well. So
That's
it's
correct.
great that we can continue to be environmentalists and to keep that message going.
And the goodies were very popular here in Australia.
They certainly
They
were.
were very
And they're
popular.
still on reruns here and there and everywhere.
Yes, that's correct. I've got the DVD box sets
That's right. And there's so many books as well. And it's great that they're appearing on YouTube as well to keep
all
that
on
memory
YouTube
alive.
as well. That's right.
That's
Yes.
right. And if you want to support the reserve, check out Cameron Hons music on CameronHonsBandcamp.com, YouTube, and also the Internet Archive. We can find some of Cameron Hons' great work there. You can stay
Cameron's
up.
Playhouse season 11 is coming out in November.
That's
So
true
that's
too. So there's always something
on
in the pipeline there from the
on the
Cameron Hons
archive. Yeah,
Empire.
that would be on the Internet Archive coming up.
That is terrific. And if you need any more information, you can click on the description below on this clip. And also, we're just running out of time. You can also catch the latest news, traffic, and weather on newy.com.au. This is Darren McErlain reporting for Drive for Newy 87.8 FM, Newcastle.
Bye.